let's talk about Bill Clinton. All right. So Bill Clinton, I've been saying this for a while. Bill Clinton occasionally shows his true colors. And listen, I'm not going to pretend as though I was not a person who liked Bill Clinton, but I was 12 when Bill Clinton came on the scene in 92. So, what did I really know about Bill Clinton? And he was out of office by the time I turned 20. So what did I really know about Bill Clinton? But except the same thing that everybody liked Bill Clinton. But when you get older and you start learning history from the context of knowledge versus what you remember, you have to reevaluate some things. And I've been saying it for a little while now that Bill Clinton, the Clintons in general, have a problem with people interrupting them, correcting them. They have a problem with admitting to mistakes that they made. That's the crux of it. They have a problem admitting to things that they've done wrong. And that came out today in a very disgusting manner. And it's so disgusting. It's kind of hard to believe that he could not get control of himself and realize the political damage he was doing to his wife. But when you get angry, it's either you're angry or you're drunk. The truth is going to come out. All right. So let me play this clip of what Bill Clinton said. Hang on, let me pull it up. And then I just want to give some commentary, but more than Bill Clinton. So ultimately, I'm not surprised by Bill Clinton. Hardly at all, to be honest with you. I don't think I'm too surprised by him at all. I think I'm more surprised by the silence of mainstream media because I looked and listened. I watched MSNBC. I watched CNN. I flipped back and forth to see if I saw any meaningful coverage of it. And to be honest with you, I didn't find anything significant. Trying to adjust some bandwidth here, guys, to make sure that you guys get a good signal. So I'm not so surprised by Bill Clinton as I am surprised by the media ignoring it, even though it is a top trending trend worldwide right now. And let's be realistic. What is it? Whatever's trending number one worldwide is news. I don't care what anyone tells you. So it is major news, and it's being as much as possible. Oh crap! There, I did that again. As much as possible, it's being ignored. Let's see if I can do something here, guys. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to play the audio here because I lost my screen. So instead of stalling, here's the audio of Bill Clinton.
See these other signs? This is what's the matter. I don't know how you would characterize the gang leaders who got 13-year-old kids hopped up on crack and sent them out onto the street to murder other African-American children. Maybe you thought they were good citizens. She didn't. She didn't. You are defending the people who kill the lives you say matter. Tell the truth. You are defending the people who caused young people to go out and take guns. There was a 13-year-old girl in Washington, D.C. who was planting her own photos. How would you do it? Now, look at this other one.
Right here.
Look at this.
Watch this.
That's not true. Now, let's talk about the other thing. They say the welfare reform bill increased poverty. Then why do we have the largest drop in African-American poverty in history?
All right, that's enough of that. All right, so he doubles down on welfare reform. He doubles down on Hillary Clinton, defending Hillary Clinton's super predator speech, even though Hillary Clinton herself has backed away from the super predator speech. But in the heat of the moment, he's not used to being interrupted, right? And because he's not used to being interrupted, his mask came completely down. That and the combination of he's in Philadelphia. All right, he's in Pennsylvania. I'm not sure if he was in Philly, but I know he's in Pennsylvania. So he's in Pennsylvania and he's no longer in the South. He no longer has to tiptoe around the Southern firewall, and he's free to say whatever the hell he wants to say. That coupled with the fact that he's been interrupted. How dare these people interrupt me? I'm a former president of the United States. He lets his mask down and unleashes what he really thinks, because there's no way in the world he's going to say this unless he really thinks it, right? So let's just be real. These are thoughts that have been in his mind and that he has held silently for a very long time. And now he's coming back to defend his record, because what you're not going to do is destroy his record and challenge him publicly and interrupt him. And so here he does a litany of things here. Number one, he justifies a crime bill that we all understand on this side of it. That crime bill has been devastating to the African-American community, specifically Hispanic community, and just low-income families and poor communities. It has had a horrible effect on the nation. There is nothing redeemable about the 94 crime bill, but he has to defend it. And so instead of doing like his wife did, right, at least Hillary Clinton at this point has backed away from the bill as well as her. Instead of doing all that, he decides to justify it and say that there were kids who were getting hocked up on cocaine, on crack, and getting sent out to do, he not only justifies a crime bill, but then he forwards the trope of black on black crime as a means of silencing Black Lives Matter. So in other words, these protesters today in 2016, they should be quiet because of black on black crime that happened in 1994 before they signed the crime bill. It's like a time warp that we should forever be quiet because of black on black crime in the 90s, which led him to sign this bill. Now I'm going to talk about the black on black crime that the trope that Ray Lewis forwarded today on the same day. But here Bill Clinton, he's talking in this dismissive, condescending tone, which the Clintons are notorious for. This is the thing that bothers me the most, not the Clintons, because I understand who they are. What bothers me the most is that who else can get away with talking to black people like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton? Who else can get away with talking to women like Hillary Clinton talks to women? Who else can talk with this condescending, dismissive, I am smarter than you, I have more to say than you? And what did he say? He said before this clip that I played you, he said that, how did he put it? You won't learn something if you're always talking. Really, Bill? You're the one doing the talking. How about you take a moment to listen? And so it's this casual dismissal, not even casual. I'm sorry. It wasn't casual. It was a very intense, visceral response, wagging of the finger, talking down and dismissing them. And then he one-upped himself and he used John Lewis as a prop against Black Lives Matter. Again, I am not surprised by Bill Clinton. I think what we saw today was par for the course. I think that he sincerely believes that he still harbors some resentment against President Obama. I think some of his slip-ups in regards to President Obama this election cycle are consistent with the character that we saw today. Am I saying that Bill Clinton is a bad person? I don't care. What I'm saying right now is that he is a problem for Hillary Clinton, that he is a problem for himself, and that when he gets disturbed and he gets disrupted and someone dare have the nerve to confront him, his real colors come out. So here you go. I mean, so let's see all the things that he did. Can I list all the things that he did wrong in this clip? And then I'm going to leave him alone. And I want to talk about Hillary Clinton supporters, particularly black supporters, and the media, right? The silence of the media and the silence of black Hillary supporters. But one, he pulls up John Lewis as a prop and says, who are you going to believe? These people or John Lewis? So congratulations, John Lewis. You've been elevated to, or demoted or elevated, depending on the angle from which we're looking, to being a prop for Bill Clinton. Then two, he talks down in a condescending tone, dismissing the entire plight of the modern Black Lives Matter movement. He does so from a 1994 perspective, right? But he brings it and says, this is a reason you guys should be silenced because of black on black crime that happened in 1994. Then he dismisses the movement as only being concerned of protecting and fighting for murderers, as though Black Lives Matter doesn't have anything else that they're fighting for, as though Black Lives Matter has nothing worthwhile. They need to just sit down and learn something. What else did he do wrong in this? I mean, you know, there were obviously women in that audience, women protesting, and so he just has a casual dismissal of women, you know, but I guess there's no need to pile it on. What he said is evident enough. Now, again, I don't really have that much anger towards Bill Clinton because I believe this is par for the course for Bill Clinton. What's surprising to me is the extent and the room and the leg room that there's a word and it's going to come to me. But the space that they are given to speak to Black Lives Matter with so much condescension that nobody else, no other white person in the world could get. They give this space to the Clintons. We saw this with Black Lives Matter in Boston, with Hillary Clinton talking down to them there. We saw this in Atlanta with Hillary Clinton talking down to them there and having black political elite coming to shut them up and sit them down. We saw this with Ashley Williams at the private fundraiser that she paid $500 for. Hillary Clinton began to talk down to her. And in every instance of this, Black Hillary Clinton supporters and white Hillary Clinton supporters came to the rescue of Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton to the detriment of Black Lives Matter. And so now it's at the point where I'm like, does your movement even mean something to you? Or does your movement only go as far as it conflicts with the Clintons? Because if your movement only goes as far as it conflicts with the Clintons, then your movement isn't worth much anything. And to be sure, there are maybe a handful, I can count them on my hand, of people who support Black Lives Matter, who have come out and really I'm talking about leaders and, either official leaders or non-official leaders, people with, significant followings who have come out to let it be known that Bill Clinton is wrong in this instance. But I'm seeing other people either being just completely silent or finding a way to relitigate the 94 crime bill as if him mentioning the 94 crime bill was his only transgression in this video. Everything about this 90 seconds of just dismissal is wrong. It's not even about the 94 crime bill. It's about the fact that he does not believe that Black Lives Matter has anything worth interrupting him for right now. It's okay if they go and interrupt somebody else. It's okay if they interrupt Sanders. It's okay if they interrupt Donald Trump. It's okay if they but don't protest our first Black president. That's the thing that got me the most. I could care less. This honestly has nothing to do with the 94 crime bill as much as it has to do with the leverage. Damn it, that's the word I was looking for. The leverage that we give the Clintons to talk down to Black people that we would never give anyone else. Dare imagine for 1 second if Jane Sanders had gotten on stage and said the exact same thing, or even a fraction. If she had just said one sentence that Bill Clinton said in that 90-second diatribe, it would be lights out for the Bernie Sanders campaign. Period. No questions asked. But somehow, some way, we got to fix this up for Master Clinton. Sorry. No, I'm not. Sorry, not sorry. Because that's the exact mentality. You cannot justify this. You can't. At some point, you've got to say the people that I support are wrong. If Bernie Sanders, matter of fact, Bernie Sanders in Phoenix, go back and look at my video, my worst rated video, and I don't care. Thumbs down it again. My worst rated video is of me criticizing Bernie Sanders early on, right in Phoenix at Netroots Nation, because he handled it wrong. And I don't have any loyalty to somebody I'm following such that I'm going to silence my dissent. Period. But I am simply amazed at people who will contort their own beliefs and their own principles in order to stand behind a politician. What do you believe in, something, or do you believe in somebody? Do you have a guiding set of morals and principles, or do you just follow whatever your dear leader tells you? Because had Bernie Sanders said if James Sanders had said one sentence out of this, I would not be able to support Bernie Sanders. Not just because of what he said, but because of how he said it. As though, let me lecture you, let me instruct you, let me teach you. You don't know, Bill Clinton, that's not the way of the world right now. And that is something I believe we're missing in this campaign, is that the status quo that Hillary Clinton represents so well is not in a mode where they want to listen. And if anything else is evident about this election and this cycle is that it's about listening. And Bill Clinton demonstrated, and listen, I don't care what you say. I don't care if they live together. I don't care if they live in other sides of the country. They are still husband and wife, and they are flesh of my flesh. They're Christian, so they're flesh of their flesh and blood, bone of their bone. They are the twine shall meet. They are one. And so what Bill Clinton says and what's coming out of the sincerity of his anger, you have to ask yourself the question, how closely related is that to what Hillary Clinton really believes? And I don't even have to question. I can look at how she speaks down to people when she gets angry. And yet we give them the leverage, the latitude to just go out there and speak to Black Lives Matter and to women and to young people with this condescension that is repulsive. I'm not mad at them. I'm mad at their supporters that will contort themselves to allow themselves to let the Clintons do whatever they want. At some point, you've got to tell these people, get right, or else you don't get my support. I'm sorry. I guess maybe it's just me. I'm not a fan of anybody so much that they could just do whatever they want to me. That's an abusive relationship, my friends. That's what that is. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to say about this? Because I don't know. I think, let me see. So much to be said. All right. If it comes to me, what do you think? Before I go to another topic, 857-600-0518. What did you think about Bill Clinton and his comments? You could tweet me at the BPD show, or you could leave a comment in YouTube. What did you think about what Bill Clinton said? Were you surprised by it? Did you think he was, did you think that it was expected? Did it, because it didn't surprise me, but I wanted to know, did it surprise you? Did it offend you? 857-600-0518. And I want to get you, I want to get your opinion on it before I move on. And while I wait for your tweets and your messages and your phone calls, I also want to discuss, I want to also discuss the media's role in this and their unwillingness to even cover it.